have such sights to show you.
Yes, Mother. It's me. Bates Motel.
There are some franchises you would not expect to be actual franchises, and Psycho is definitely one of them. Psycho is an all-time classic, and it has 3 sequels. And most of them are actually not that bad, I can fairly say, which is surprising because Psycho is so good. But in the 80s, Psycho got a bit of a resurgence with a couple of sequels, one of which we're going to be talking about today in Psycho 3. And to help me talk about that, I have one of the hosts over at Why We Love Horror. It is Aaron Brooks. Aaron, welcome.
Hey, good to be here, Jacob. Thank you for having me.
So Psycho 3 was the first in the series directed by Anthony Perkins. It sees him return as Norman Osborn. Norman Bates. Different movie for sure.
Yes.
And after the events of Psycho 2, I guess a bit of a spoiler here, left the mental hospital, but then just relapsed. But he's still living in Bates Motel, trying to walk the straight and narrow. And just when he thinks he's out in the clear, a woman comes along who looks suspiciously like a ghost from his past. And it turns out it is a very suicidal nun who just so happens to look very suspiciously like Marion Crane, like the Marion Crane from the first movie. And it all goes downhill from there. So, Aaron, if I'm correct, this is your first time watching this like me?
Yes. Yeah. I wanted to pick a movie I hadn't seen. I saw Psycho 2 earlier in the year. And like most people who I think see Psycho 2 at this point, they're like, wow, this is really good. And it's such a, like on paper saying we're going to take Psycho, this incredible monolith of a movie, and make it 20 years later and we're going to take in a slasher out. That sounds like diarrhea to me. That sounds like the worst idea ever. And I think it was a great idea. So much better than what they ended up doing with the Gus Van Sant version in the 2000s and whatnot. I mean, they should have just continued on this path. I really was a fan of the second one, and without spoiling it too much, I really like the third one too. I think it's a worthy effort. Anthony Perkins doesn't direct many things. He has one other directing credit to his entire filmography. His son, obviously a very good director, but like this is just like a really good time.
Shout out to Osgood Perkins, but
yes.
But we see Anthony Perkins in fact return, and like you said, he's great here. Basically, and I won't rehash Psycho 2 here, but he's really trying to not be the Norman Bates that everyone knows him for, and it ultimately ends up failing. But here, like he's still just trying to maintain as best as possible. There's a reporter involved who's like trying to be like, you were rehabilitated, what was that like? And he's just trying to give the diplomatic answer. It's in the scene in this diner, and he's trying to do his best, try and run this motel as much as he can. And there's a sort of like sympathetic side to this character that I did really appreciate.
Yeah, no, Anthony Perkins puts a ton of love into this character in every single performance. And here it's like there's definitely some sympathy given to him. And then like by the entire community kind of just being like, oh, come on, leave him alone. You don't have to ask him about this. Like he didn't do it. Like it's it's like a really, interesting, like it's not just a slasher, this third one, especially this third one, it takes some big swings. Like it does some big swings with, I think, the directing choices. I think it adds some noir element. I think it adds feels like almost like a Blood Simple, like, or what in that way. Maybe that's because of Carter Burwell's score as well. I'm thinking Coen Brothers, but Carter Burwell does the score for this movie. I mean, like, come on, like it's got that 80s like neon color to it as well, but it's like Jeff Fahey, who plays like the asshole, like just like rapist weirdo guy. Yeah. Like, I mean, Dwayne he plays it almost too convincingly.
He's more psycho than Norman Bates at a couple points.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. It's like kind of brilliant. I love this movie.
Yeah. One it's a good thing you pointed that out, the whole stuff with the neon, because there's a couple scenes where it definitely looks like, I don't want to talk too much about Osgood Perkins, but like something like Osgood Perkins would direct. I mean, I don't think it's too far out of bounds. There's a scene where it's near the back half of the movie, like Dwayne has revealed his big old master plan, I guess, and then like Norman's having the inner turmoil, and it takes place in one of the rooms, but it's like in like blood red mixed with black and like you said, like neonish colors. It's very late 80s, but I kind of dug it.
Yeah, it was great. It's like again, Blood Simple has some scenes like that with really dark and bright colors clashing together. Yeah, it's just like, it's a shame we didn't get more Anthony Perkins directed films. Like, and you know, I don't want to skip towards the end, but like the final shot of this movie is just perfect. Like in all three of the movies so far, they have nailed the final shot. A Psycho movie without a good final shot is not a Psycho movie so far.
Exactly. Yeah. The movie opens pretty wild too. It starts out with the nun, who's named Maureen. She's like, she made the decision to become a nun and she regrets it, but she decides to end it all by jumping out of a bell tower. And instead she ends up sending one of her fellow nuns to her death. And it just tears her apart inside. Like, and there's just something about that there's something about that that's just very, very gnarly for something like Psycho to do. Like you would never expect a Psycho movie to open with something like that.
Yeah, it's so different. It's a tragic, beginning for this character, and then, Maureen thinks she's found this really good situation with Dwayne, which obviously I don't know why she ever thought that was a good situation. But then it's just like she was just desperate and she was broken. But then with the real good situation she thinks she finds is with Norman, where he's just like, you can stay here however long you need to do better. And she's like, yes, I would like to stay at the motel for a couple of days. And I was like, oh no, I'm like, no, that's she just thinks she's finally had some good luck. And they go into the existential, how she feels she was a sinner and she was, tempted by the flesh and everything like that. And then so you think by sinning against yourself and then killing someone else that was better, and it's just it enters into kind of an exorcist almost sort of territory at times. And again, Exorcist 3, we all kind of know at this point the cat's out of the bag about that. It's a great movie. And then here, I don't think Psycho 3 has had that breakout yet. I'm kind of confused why the general audience, because I'm a pretty big horror fan. I'm on a channel called Why We Love Horror. I kind of am a little bit of an aficionado. Until this year, I hadn't watched Psycho 2 or 3 because no one really told me to. And I don't know why. Carter Burwell's score, Anthony Perkins acted and directed here. No one else is in the movie, but everybody else is really good as well in their roles. Yeah, this is just a movie I would suggest to non-horror fans.
I agree. And it's like I said in the intro, this is literally one of those series where it's the first one is so good and so woven into the texture of horror, the horror genre, that it's wait, there's more to this. And you have 2, 3, and 4. Then you have the Van Sant one. Less said about that one, the better. Of course. Then you get Bates Motel, which I have not finished, but what I have seen, I have greatly enjoyed. Freddie Highmore's really good in that show, but again, another story for another time. I haven't seen Psycho 4. That's the one that I hear the most mixed things about, but I am interested to watch it just to see what happened.
Yeah. Because so far it has my trust, and it's just going into why we view sequels the way we do probably has a lot to do with the Friday the 13th series and the Nightmare on Elm Street series, if we're being honest, because some of these other sequels, Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequel, great. Psycho sequels, great. It's Alive sequels. Not that that's on the same level, but all of them very good. Just little tangent there, but thanks for entertaining me in that.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about. And then you got circling back to Dwayne again. From the very beginning, I just knew this guy was off. he just
Of course.
like a walking red flag of sorts. And
Yes.
again, Maureen was desperate, so I get why. But at the same time, like you just never question from the very beginning that is like, okay, Norman Bates has done some very bad things, but this guy
This
is
guy's
like,
worse. Fuck him and his guitar.
somehow he's even worse. Yes.
Yeah, fuck his guitar. Anybody who's like, oh, like don't mess with my guitar. Anybody that somebody does that, you got to watch out for them.
And then Norman Bates El Kabongs him with the guitar, and it's awesome.
Yes. Yeah, the kills in this movie are great when they come too. They may be few and far between, and but they're worthwhile. Here, the stuff with Norman and his mother, just they got down to it, like just nail it. They nail it once again. Like they know what they're doing here, and it's just because you know the twist, like or whatever. It's not even a twist at this point. You know the circumstance. Like they don't have to rely on that, so they can just explore within that realm, like I think more freely in this one than the other two movies, because the first movie it was the whole twist, and then the second one it was will he relapse. Now we're clear he is, and now this is him 22 years later, not 20 years later, 22 years later. He made sure to correct that reporter several times about that,
many times,
which
and
in fairness is 2 years is a lot.
You can add more dimensions to this character when you do. Like it's like the burden has been like lifted, and it's like, okay, we all know what he's about now. So you can kind of play around with it. He has periods of maybe I'm going to walk away from this, and then there's other periods where he leans into it. There's just there's dare I say nuance involved, and I think that one is particularly slept on. Another scene I just remembered about is the scene where Norman's like being chastised by this cop, and he's at this big old ice chest. You know the one I'm talking about, right? The big old ice machine.
Yep.
There's a hand in there, and it's like sticking out like this. You can't miss it.
Yeah.
And it's so hot out, the sheriff is like, well, I am here to tell you now that this Norman Bates is nothing more. He grabs the ice, he puts some in his mouth, but some of the blood from the hand is in the ice.
That's Osgood Perkins' like dark, wry humor there, right there.
And the blood is like dripping down his chin, and Norman's just like, I wonder if he's going to notice. And he never does.
Yeah. That's like that's like straight from the Monkey type of like black humor, and like you can really, again, like you can see the genesis here. And I can't say enough, again, 3 movies in, about Anthony Perkins' performances. They're just so great. The smile he has when he's going crazy, that straight smile in the back of that cop car, and in the back of that car to end the movie as it like darkens out is just brilliant. And he's in another hand scene because he's holding his mom's hand in the car. It's just like, you're never going to let go of mom.
No, not this person. And really, like Anthony Perkins, like this is like the thing that he's known for, but he had a long career. He was in the Sidney Lumet Murder on the Orient Express. He was in The Black Hole, which is one of the first PG Disney movies I like, but people were like, what is this? But long story short, he's primarily known for this. And I mean, there's certainly worse things to be known for. I mean, you were the main lead in one of the foremost like horror films of all time, and then you were the head of like the more underrated horror franchises of all time. So that's certainly not something to sneeze at.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then to round things off, I feel like, I guess we kind of beaten this point to the ground, but I feel like the Psycho franchise as a whole, it's one of those ones where like, surely this is not a franchise, but then it's like, it's how consistent they are and like how quality they are. I still say the first one's the best one, but at the same time, it's not that easy of it's clearly like 1's here and 2's way down there. It's like
if you preferred 2 to 1, I would not question you. Like, if you're saying 1's the better movie, sure. But where's the fun in that? We all know what the better movies are. Which one do you like more? 2 can certainly be in the conversation. 3 also would be in the conversation. 3 would give me a head tilt. Even as much as I've talked about 3 here and as much as I've liked it, I do think it's the worst of the 3 so far, if I have to use that claim. But they're all good. Exactly. They're all really good. Like, and they all help complete a full story here. And I'm definitely going to watch 4. No matter what, I'm going to watch 4. Like that, it's earned my trust. And Bates Motel is amazing. Just not to get off that subject there.
I will make a priority to finish
Yes,
it. But
definitely good.
I pass it off to all of you. What did you think of Psycho 3? If you have seen it, let us know in the comments. We'd love to read what you have to say. And Aaron, thank you so much for joining me. You were on last year to talk about Existenz with me, the David Cronenberg film, and you helped me close out ScaryMania V. So thank you for that, and thank you for this. You're over at Why We Love Horror with John Marr and your wife, Abby Brooks. What do you all have coming up?
Yeah, we always got stuff going on over there. Trivia is one of the things we definitely want to reach out and get some newer people in the community. If you're interested in movie trivia, it's really easy. Anybody can join. Anybody's welcome. You answer 8 questions in round 1 on a notebook or whiteboard, whatever. You write them down. We show our answers. Then round 2 is like either you answer or you go to multiple choice. It's really easy. But trivia, we also have reviews all the time. We're dropping there. I just went through all the Friday the 13th movies on my Aaron and Wine series, and I'm entering into the Friday the 13th fan films, so those have been really interesting. And Never Hike Alone, I highly recommend to everybody. But thank you for having me on Why We Love Horror on YouTube.
Yep, all the links will be down below. Definitely check them out over there. I'm over there. I'm one half of the team's champions over there, so you'll definitely be seeing me over there very soon, and it hasn't happened yet as we're recording this, but the singles match, my next one, is about to be taped and I think it will be up by the time this goes up.
Yeah, we turn around pretty quick, so yeah.
So that'll be up, and I don't know what happens yet. Hopefully I win, fingers crossed. But as far as ScaryMania VI goes, we still have a few more left, so we have to keep on trucking, and we have to continue on from the California desert to, well, still the West Coast, but to the state of Oregon. And we're going to be taking a look at another underrated gem, in my opinion, a little film called The Stepfather.